Ready, aim, fire!
Okay, so let's start building this. Best place to start is number 1, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all these bits off, prepare them all, and maybe film and glue them together. I won't bother filming the cutting off and preparing them because you know, I want to try and get this video down and not use the time-lapse stuff. Trying to use that less this year. So anyway, let's crack on with this. But like I said, I don't really want to film the putting together. I filmed the putting together, but I don't want to film the preparing. Oh my god, I'm getting all muddled up here, aren't I? Anyway, let's crack on. So with all these bits cleaned up, I'm now going to glue them together. I'm putting it on this piece of styrofoam because I'm going to use cocktail sticks to hopefully pin it together once it's all glued properly. So yeah, so let's begin. I believe this is going to be quite fun because okay, so after correcting a small mistake and getting it all straightened up and leveled, it's now, you know, it's ready to dry now. So let's let the glue set, but whilst I'm letting the glue set, I will move on to the stage 2. I'll just get that, move that to the side. So part 2, the suspension, and yeah, looks like I've got some right fiddly little bits to do here. Great. So I'll just take a little break before I start that, and then I'll start cutting those bits out and preparing them. Okay, so I've actually glued this side together already, and all the little bits for the suspension. Now I'm just going to put this side together. There you go, I don't know if you can see that. I've got some more sanding to do on that, but I'll wait till that's all dry. Same on the other side. But yeah, that's basically part 2 done. So now moving on to section 3, just doing the this part of the suspension. So I'll start with this side. I'll probably just record this side, and then it's because it's the same. Alright. I've already prepared the bits. So now I'll just repeat that for the other side, but I won't bother recording it because you're used to seeing what I've done. So now I'm moving on to section 4. attaching these bits and these bits. Once again, I will do most of this, the cleaning up off camera, and then gluing them, just probably just one, doing one off camera, and doing, you know, general idea of what I've been doing generally. Right. There you go. I'm just sticking this bit on now, and it's really nice how this piece is actually curved slightly to curve with the chassis of the ambulance. Really nice, with this nice little if you can see that, but it's curved slightly to curve in with that chassis as well. I like that, it's nice. Okay, I'll just leave that to dry. I'm just going to do this last one. You have to cut them off so delicately. No doubt now I'm filming it, it'll go all wrong. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to this section, section 5, which I'm going to skip because I'm going to do the wheels separately, because I want to paint them separately, all the individual parts, and put them together. So there's no point doing that yet until I've sprayed some other bits and pieces. So I'm going to move on to section 6 and build this, and have a look at this, and then move on to section 7, have a look at it, because it does involve the wheels again, and then 8, build this, and then the engine, which again I will can build and then put together separately. Right, so once again I will do the cleaning up off screen and then come back to you in a minute. Now I'm just looking at some reference pictures, and there is wire coming from this, but weirdly all this is in the other way around. It could be a late model, could be a 1950s 55 model, the images I'm looking at. Yeah, because they seem to be the other way around, but I'm going by what the kit says. I am doing this from the box, but I might just add a little bit of wire coming from there. But we'll see. We'll wait and see for that. Anyway, yeah, so the picture I was looking at was actually the front axle, not the rear axle. So I could do some wires coming off here, but I don't know where they go. So I've just got to do a little bit more research into that. I'm sure there's wires coming off, because there's wires coming off the front one. Okay, let me look into that a little bit further. I've already stuck these two bits together. So it's just basically a case of That's quite handy because they put another picture on the to show you which way it goes around, so that's quite handy. Right, next. Okay, I believe that's the gearbox. Now I'm going to move on to the engine. Okay, so I've got to do this tiny bit of photo etch. I've already cut it out. It is the most ridiculously tiniest bit I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, moving on to part 9. Now I can assemble this bit and I can assemble this bit, but I'm not going to put the engine in just yet because I'm going to paint it. Also I want to do some wiring, so I'm going to do some research on the engine, see what the wiring looks like. So yeah, I'll just glue these bits. I've already prepared these bits, so I'll glue all these bits together, then we'll prepare this bit and glue that together. Okay, so yeah, it's the engine done. So what I'll do is do some cleaning up on that, and then I might prime it and spray it. It's going to be a brass green, so it looks like the colour scheme is going to be a brass green. I could do the wiring afterwards or the wiring before. I need to look up the wiring. Just going to leave that to dry because I've got some cleaning up to do on that. So yeah, I've got to this stage. I'm going to leave off the exhaust for now, and I've only dry fitted, so they're not been glued, the engine and the drive shaft, one half the drive shaft. But I believe I can do the steering arrangement for the front wheel without interfering too much with placing this on, so I can continue doing this. Maybe do all of this as well. Obviously I'm not fitting the wheels, and I should be able to fit these which should be, apart from this back end here, should be the lower half of the chassis done, basically, or the whole of the chassis done. So I can just leave that to one side and then move on to the main body. Right. So I'm going to crack on with the suspension. The steering. So I've took the liberty of doing this side, gluing this side, which works. So now I'm just going to do this side. So I'm going to do the bottom one first. Glue that one in. Just going to check if that fits in the little hole right. Luckily I don't need to do much sanding on that because it's already what I do want to do. Check if that's just going to go in the hole. Okay. Now, as you can see, I have not started the engine on that drive shaft. So all I need to do is glue that on there, and I'll just wait for this glue to dry, and I'll glue that on there. Don't even really need to see that. So actually it's worked out alright leaving the engine off, because it's easier to work on this without the engine being in the way. Now moving on to this strange construction here. Not quite sure what it is, but I've got everything to size, I hope. And yeah, so just working out how to do it. Yeah, let's give it a go. I'll cut all the bits out. Okay, so what my understanding is it doesn't seem to be lining up with that. Have I done something wrong? I wonder if I should be making this tube a little bit longer. Oh, that's quite long. I think it needs to be curved. I'm just going to let that bit dry and glue, and then I'll work out what I'm going to do with this. Okay, so using a bit of super glue, I'm going to attempt this. I've cut another bit of pipe because I thought that bit of pipe was a bit too short. I measured this one, it measures to the size that you say it should be. Like that. Which is extremely odd. I'm going to put the wheel straight because on the diorama I want to build them and want it straight. So yeah, it's kind of working. I believe I've got that. Yeah, I've got that spot on as well. Okay. Okay, so that's that bit done. I'm not doing the wheels just yet, so there's no need to stick these on. This is just showing me the wheel directions, which I'm not really bothered about at the moment. So the next stage is this, constructing these the fuel tanks and the rear step section, and then that's all the chassis work complete. If I don't want to add any more bits, so what I'll do is I'll crack on with this and then show you the process. Okay, so I've already put one box together and made some little improvements. Now I'm just going to put a second box together, or fuel tank shall I say. Okay, so that's your basic fuel tank, but I have made some improvements. So here's one I prepared earlier. I have some of this throw edge chains. It's just a chain set. So I've put a chain on the fuel tank and the fuel cap. Using some Rizzler paper or some thin paper, I just improved the little straps that go around to hold it to the, because as you can see it does pick in a little bit here, so it just makes them straps look better. I know I said I was going to do straight from the box from this kit, but I just couldn't help myself. Anyway, so now that one's ready to attach to the rest of the chassis. So I've already pre-cut these bits out. So there's one. what I do is I just pause that a minute. So just let everything dry a little bit. So what I'm doing here is using some thin paper or Rizzler. It's going to be wrong. So, yeah, it might be right actually. And then what I'm going to do is just using a bit of glue. Typical, this one's not going as well as the other one. Okay, just let this dry. Now for the chain, you just cut off a little bit of chain. Just going to put a little bit of super glue there. Now I've already pre-bended the chain. But what it also does, it covers up the sprue mark there. It kind of sort of makes it part of it. So. There you go. If you can see that, but you can't really see it. But it kind of bends down, it kind of bows down where I want it to as well. So yeah, I'll stick that to the chassis, then move on to the next bit. So yeah, now it's the final part of this chassis, apart from putting the wheels together, which I might try and do. I might put the wheels together without gluing them, dry fit them. Not quite sure yet. But anyway, so the last part is this back step, which has a lot of photo etch parts. So yeah, let's crack on with that. I'll just put them the right way around. Oh god. Difficult with it. Last bit and it's been difficult. very last bit and it's been difficult. Typical. Yeah, apart from the wheels, that pretty much is the lower chassis, or the chassis, done. So I think that's a good place to leave the video now. Gonna mess around with it a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, apart from the wheels, that's pretty much the lower chassis done. It's looking pretty good. I might see if I can do something with the wheels, but I think this is a good place to end the video. So join me next time. Please like and subscribe, and enjoy whatever you're doing. Bye.